welcome to day 4 of your yoga workout series. For yoga, you want to make sure you have an open and wide space to practice, as well as a mat if you'd like to use that. And other than that, I hope you enjoy. So starting off at the top of your mats with your feet about hip distance apart, inhaling your biceps up overhead as you come into standing mountain, spreading your fingers apart, and gazing up at your fingertips, dropping your shoulders, elongating through your spine. And then as you exhale, reaching down for your mat as you come into a forward fold. Keeping soft bends into your knees. And on your next inhale, choosing to place your hands either below or above your knees as you come into extended spine, creating a flat back. Acting as if you're peering over a ledge. Keeping your weight in your heels. You can choose to wiggle your toes to help test this. Making sure your head is neutral and in line with your spine. Creating a straight line from the crown of your head and back to your hips. And then as you exhale, placing your hands down onto the mat, bending at your knees, and stepping back into plank. In plank, keeping a straight line with your body, so making sure your hips aren't up too high or sinking too low. Making sure your wrists are in line with your shoulders as well. Taking deep breaths. And then as you inhale, shifting your weight forward onto your toes, and exhale, slowly lower down, chaturanga, leading with your chest. Once you reach your mat, flattening out both feet, and then pushing your chest up into cobra. Keeping soft bends into your elbows, lifting through your chest, staying here, or lowering down to sphinx. Breathing in through your nose and out your mouth. On your next inhale, curling both toes under, and exhale, downward dog. Creating a sharp V with your body, creating a straight line from your fingertips to your hips, and your hips to your heels. Taking some alternating heel presses if you'd like. Stretching out your gastrocnemius and soleus, otherwise known as your calf muscles. And now walking both of your feet back up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. And inhale up, returning back to standing mountain. Now lowering your arms down to your sides. Placing your left foot down into the mat as you inhale your left foot up. Your right foot up, coming into a quadricep stretch. Choosing to stay here, or extending your left arm out to help with your balance. Again, taking deep breaths. Keeping a soft bend into your left knee. And now switching sides, doing the same thing with the right foot. Working on your balance. And dropping your left foot back down. Inhale, standing mountain. Exhale, forward folds. And then bringing both of your knees down to your mat as you come into tabletop. In tabletop, making sure your knees are in line with your hips and your wrists are in line with your shoulders, creating a nice steady base. Now extending your right leg long as you point your toes forward, and then taking your right hand and scooping up. Bringing your arm back behind you, and again scooping up. Feeling this in your shoulder. Allowing your gaze to follow your hands. Coming into a full rotation. Great work. And now as you exhale, returning back to tabletop. Now doing that same thing on the left, extending your left leg long, pointing your toes forward, and then scooping the air up. Bring your arm back behind you and back to the center. Again, allowing your gaze to follow your hand here. Allowing your breath to help guide you through this movement. Last one here. And now returning back to tabletop. This time stepping your right foot forward as you come into crescent lunge. So lifting your chest, placing your hand onto your quadricep, or maybe at your heart center. You can also bring your biceps up by your ears. Just making sure your right knee does not exceed your right toes. Sinking your hips forward, feeling a stretch in your left hip flexor. You can also bring your hands back behind you at the small of your back if that's more comfortable. Or for more of a challenge, grabbing onto your back foot and placing your right hand onto your quadricep. Holding here for about 2 rounds of breath. Finding your option, taking deep breaths. And now lowering your foot back down if you had your hand onto it. Returning back to low lunge, placing your hands down onto the mat, and lifting your left knee. We'll now be coming into revolved low lunge, so placing your left hand on the instep of your right foot, and inhaling your right arm up, gazing up at your fingertips, creating a twist in your spine, stacking your shoulders, continuing to breathe. And exhale, lowering back down, returning back to tabletop on your hands and knees. This time stepping your left foot in, coming into crescent lunge on the other side. Again, choosing your options. Really sinking your hips forward, but not allowing your knee to exceed your toes. Keep breathing. Remembering your option of grabbing onto your back foot as a challenge. Breathe through it. Great work, lowering back down and placing your right hand onto your mat, coming into a low lunge, and then inhaling your left arm up overhead, coming into a revolved low lunge, gazing up at your fingertips. You can choose to keep your back knee lifted here, or lowering it down. And exhale, returning back to your low lunge, stepping your right foot in, coming into your forward folds. And then rolling up one vertebrae at a time as you come to standing, taking a few shoulder rolls if you'd like, to the back, and to the front. Maybe shaking out your legs, shaking out your arms, releasing any tension in your muscles. As you get ready for your balancing pose. So for your balancing pose, you'll be coming into branch. So lifting your right foot, and then creating 90-degree bend into your knee. Choosing to bring your hands to heart center, or up overhead. For another option here, choosing to extend your leg long, flexing at your foot. Holding here for 2 rounds of breath. Finding your option, or moving between them. And exhale, lowering back down, this time switching sides. Maybe rolling out your left ankle a little bit. And then switching, placing your weight into your right foot. Again, choosing your arm options. Gaze is out in front of you, flexing at your left foot. Remembering your option of extending your leg. Continuing to breathe in through your nose and out your mouth. Holding here for one more round of breath. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, standing mountain. And exhale, forward folds, reaching down through your mat. Noticing if you can reach a little bit further this time. Stretching out your hamstrings. And now lowering both of your knees as you come into tabletop, getting ready for hip circles. So first allowing your hips to fall to the right side of your body, and then back behind you, and then off to the left, and out in front of you. Again, repeating that sequence. Really exaggerating this move. Last time on this side, using your breathing to guide you. Now returning back to center, this time coming off to the left, back behind you, off to the right, and out in front of you. Repeating this motion, following your breath. 2 more. Last one here. Great work. Now lifting yourself up using your core. We'll be coming into camel pose. So for option 1 of camel pose, placing your hands onto your lower back with your fingertips pointing up towards your head. Choosing to stay here, lifting your gaze, and creating an arch in your back. For more of a challenge, if you have more flexibility, choosing to curl your toes under and placing your hands onto your heels, pushing your chest out as you gaze up towards the ceiling, keeping a fist-sized gap in between your chin and your chest. Pinching your shoulder blades back behind you, continuing to breathe, allowing oxygen to get to every part of your body. And now slowly come back up. Great work. Now placing your hands onto the mat, curling your toes under as you come into a downward dog. Taking a few alternating heel presses. Stretching out your calf muscles. And I'll be coming into a little bit of a core sequence. At any time during the sequence, you can choose to come back to downward dog or drop down to child's pose. So on your next inhale, lifting the right foot up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bringing it to your opposite elbow and back up. Repeating this movement, going at your own pace. 2 more here. Great work, last one. And now returning back to downward dog, lowering it down for just a moment. Holding here in tabletop. Now curling both toes under once again, doing the same thing on the left, inhaling your left leg up, knee to opposite elbow, and back up. Great work. 2 more here. And last one. Awesome job. Now lower it down, coming onto your knees. And then bringing both of your knees hip width apart, a little bit wider than hip width apart, and extending back as you come into child's pose. Walking your fingertips out in front of you. Lifting yourself back up, slowly and controlled, returning back to tabletop, sweeping your legs up to the side and out in front of you, and coming to the top of your mat, if you're using one, and then rolling down one vertebrae at a time, coming onto your back, inhaling both of your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins, and slowly rocking side to side, feeling a massage in your upper back and your internal organs. Thanking your body for this practice today and allowing you to do all these moves. Thanking your mind for showing up and thanking your spirit. And now bringing your hands onto your knees, extending your arms long, continuing to rock side to side. Feeling a massage in your lower back, in your upper glutes. Now bringing your rocking to a stop, placing your feet onto the mat, choosing to stay here for Savasana or extending your legs long, placing your hands on the mat, on the ground, on your belly, or at your heart center. And then begin to close your eyes, slowing down your breathing. Again, thanking your body, thanking your mind, and thanking your spirit. Settling in and remaining here in Savasana for about 5 to 10 minutes. Finding a sense of deep relaxation and peace. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga today. Stay healthy and namaste.